2007, deep within the Cairo Museum among the remains of ancient kings, scientists stood before an unidentified mummy, a neglected body with no name, no identity, no tomb to claim as its own. But this was no ordinary forgotten mummy. It was the greatest queen history had ever known, a pharaoh who ruled Egypt, only to be erased from existence after thousands of years of attempted erasure. Today, we speak her name once more. DNA analysis has revealed the truth that the pharaohs hid for centuries. The pharaoh they tried to erase has returned from the dead. How could a great queen be completely erased from Egypt's history? Who was Hatshepsut, and why did they want to forget her? This is not just the story of a queen, it is the story of a woman who ruled Egypt as a man and deceived the world. A woman with the courage of a king, an iron grip on power. She built temples, carved her name into stone, and created a legacy she believed could never be erased. But some believed her name had to disappear. Her face was unworthy of remembrance, and her memory was a threat that could not be tolerated. Why was she seen as such a danger? What secrets made her enemies determined to erase her from history? A queen who refused to be just a woman? So they decided to make her nothing. Born into the house of kings, daughter of the sun, lady of the Nile, beloved of Amun, she was not just a princess, she was an heir to glory, born for a throne that was never meant for her. Married to Thutmose II, she was queen in name, but in her heart, she was something else. Something that did not accept rules, did not bow to tradition, and would not be a mere shadow in a kingdom of men. She did not leave things to fate, nor did she wait to be called upon. She reached for the crown and seized it as if it had always been hers. She was not just a regent, nor a queen standing beside the throne. She was the throne. She was the sun rising over Egypt, the hand that ruled, the power that could not be questioned, the ruler who could not be defied. She did not just want the throne, she wanted immortality. She was not merely the daughter of a king, but the daughter of a god himself. So it was inscribed on temple walls, so it was proclaimed by the priests, so her hand was lifted above the throne without contest. She did not just choose to be queen. How could anyone challenge her rule when she was not of this world? How could they oppose a reign bestowed by the gods? This deception alone was enough to silence any opposition. Who would dare to defy the daughter of a god? Who had the right to reject what the heavens had ordained? Politics was ruled by swords, but she chose a stronger weapon, a weapon unseen, untouchable, yet capable of subduing an entire empire: faith. She did not take the throne by force, she made them give it to her. Under her reign, Egypt was not just a kingdom, it was an empire led by a queen who understood that greatness was not forged by war alone, but by construction, trade, and peace. Among the mountains, she carved a temple, not just any temple, but a gateway to eternity, where stone told the story of a pharaoh unlike any other. A pharaoh who did not seek war, but sought to make Egypt richer, stronger, and greater. While other kings waged wars, her ships sailed into the unknown. They returned laden with gold, ivory, precious woods, and treasures Egypt had never seen before. And the finest incense from Punt rose in the temples, symbolizing an era of unmatched prosperity. But despite her glory, despite the temples that defied time, despite the wealth that filled Egypt's coffers, there were those who sought to erase her name. She was not just a queen, she was a masterful politician, a woman who led a mighty nation in a world that recognized only male rulers. And because she succeeded, because her achievements were undeniable, they decided to take the one thing she could never reclaim: her name. But can true greatness ever be erased? Or do the greatest figures carve their names into history, no matter how hard others try to forget them? They thought they had erased her forever, that her name would vanish, that her existence would fade into the wind. But 3,000 years later, history spoke her name once more. In 2007, her mummy was finally found. After centuries of being lost, after all efforts to erase her, today we honor her memory again. But one question remains. Was Thutmose III's act an act of revenge? Or was he afraid she would mark the beginning of an era where men no longer ruled alone? Stone may crumble, but legacy never dies.